I'm Dana Gentry, Communications Director for SEIU. Today we're talking with Rory Martinez. He's a new Assembly candidate in District 5. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You are entrenched in unions. You're the political director for the Bartenders Union?
Yes.
So you know firsthand then how devastating the 2015 session was for unions. What can you offer voters in 2017 to protect workers' rights?
Well, the biggest thing is making sure I'm out there protecting workers' rights, especially in my industry. If you look at my industry too, with bartenders and cocktailers, is I have a lot of I have a lot of employee theft that goes on. So beyond that, being up in Carson City, if I can push to make sure that one, we have protection for our workers, protection of our benefits, better wages, I can start fighting more for protecting their rights too for employers. For employees, sorry, I apologize.
Okay. One of the things that you said on your website was that you want to recruit new businesses, but you say it's equally important to help existing businesses succeed. Do you think that the corporate incentives the state has been giving out are putting those existing businesses at a deficit?
Well, what we've noticed too with the Tesla, and I don't want to get too much what happened there, was they were actually bringing jobs from other states. So our money was actually getting from Nevada, going to Utah instead of staying in Nevada. So when we do incentives that are supposed to help businesses, they need to make sure they help our workers too that are here. We need things like, I have to agree with Faraday at least, they decided to give $1 million for 6 years. Things like that is what we need to make sure the businesses do to help our state, not just bring workers from another state and then the money goes back to there.
So what do you do? Set a wage, a prevailing wage of sorts?
Well, of course, prevailing wages and then PLAs are always the best things to do, just because those help our workers and our economy here in Nevada.
Okay, SB 241 obviously is going to be a big topic in the next session, and a lot of the unions are working now towards repealing that. What do you think the chances are of getting that repealed? Well,
the best thing we can do is just make sure we have a majority. If we don't have the majority in the Assembly and in the Senate, there's nothing that we're going to be able to do. There's a lot that we were able to protect in the minorities that session, but we still need to have that majority. So until we have the majority, it's going to be hard to say, hey, we're going to appeal anything that they did to hurt us.
As a new politician, what are you, I'm sure you're out knocking on doors, right?
Yes.
What are you hearing from the people in District 5?
Oh, one of the biggest things that I am hearing is actually doing with net metering. Most of the issues that come to me from the door are things that they see in the paper or they read or they hear on the news or that they read in the paper. And net metering is one of those issues because there are a lot of people that invested in solar and they feel like they got a bad deal.
There are a lot of people who feel like they don't want to be subsidizing the people who invested in solar too. So
Yes.
how do you balance both of those interests?
Well, since I wasn't on that session, it does make it hard for me to say, hey, I did this. All I can do is promise that when I go up to Carson City, I can look at both sides and come out with a good deal for everyone.
So the people you're talking with, do they think that the caps should be lifted? Do they think there should be, how would you ask people to come invest in renewable energy in Nevada when, so many of these companies have experienced such a troubled time?
Well, one thing there's actually two things that we can do with that. One, we need to stick with the original contract. If we say, hey, this is our deal, having a 1-to-1 credit, we need to stick to that. We can't suddenly go back on our word because that gives us less of a trust as a state. Why would our own Nevadans in Nevada trust what the government says if we go back on our word? The other part of it is that we need to find ways to also make it more affordable for all of our people, not just for those people that can buy solar. We need to find ways to make that someone else in maybe a lower income area can have solar too.
Okay. And obviously, I'm sure you're in favor of raising the minimum wage. Do you think $15 an hour is a reasonable wage?
Yes, I'm for 15. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand the raising of the minimum wage isn't just for one industry of workers. Raising the minimum wage is for a lot of people that I believe the number is about 500,000 college degree people are at minimum wage. There's a lot of people that, my 16-month-old son's in childcare, they make minimum wage. And doing a job like that, you should be making more than $8 an hour. So to me, it does hit to me personally because there's people that have taken care of me, that are taking care of my family, and they can't even make a living wage.
All right, Mr. Martinez, we really appreciate you being here and good luck in your campaign.
Thank you.